Hi, I'm Winnie, and if you're new, please subscribe. So the first step that I took to get from college to working on Wall Street is just gathering information and doing the research. Where do I want to work at? And then make a list of companies. So it's kind of similar, like applying to colleges, where you have the dream schools, the target schools, and the safety schools. So here I did the same thing with companies, like what are the list of companies or banks that I definitely want to work at, so big names, bulge brackets, and then target companies, any companies that are more middle market or that fit my qualifications better, that I would have a good chance of getting in. And then the safety companies, which are willing to explore more or learn more in depth. So I'd be willing to go to that company if they were to call me to learn more about it and see if I would be a good fit. So the way I approached researching was definitely go on the company's website, social media, look at all the news, what are they known for, positive or negative. Just being aware of what's going on at the company and specifically what I want to do there. So like if they have a new products launching or new business, line of business, what initiatives or programs draw me in is how I focus it. And then to expand the research, I would leverage my network. So I would reach out to a student who did the internship before, see what their experience was like, what kind of job or task they were given, and whether they liked the culture there and the company in general. So getting that perspective is really helpful because they're the next step, I guess. So that, like, as a student, the next step would be becoming an intern. So because they have that fresh perspective coming right out of the internship, it was very honest feedback that I received and very detailed, so that helped a lot. And then of course, if you know anyone who works at the company who's higher up, a senior leader, and it's also good to reach out to them. And going to your school's career center where they have information sessions or they invite employers over and there's networking events, those are good places to also expand your network and meet some alumni or even other employees at the firm to get a better idea and understanding of what the company does, what kind of projects it works on, and then whether you can be a good fit there and what you can contribute. So another thing is I would set up informational interviews with alumni because they're the closest connection to the school, and it's easier to reach out to them and get their ideas on the company versus cold calling, which is probably harder given that you don't have like a connection to that stranger or person. So it takes more, I guess, like you're less likely to get a response in that case, so you might have to reach out to many more people in order to get someone to reply. So I did informational interviews with alumni. And the way I would approach those, I'd say be as genuine as you can. Really be there for the sake of learning what this internship could be about, of what the company is about, and don't go into it thinking that you'll get a job, essentially. So do it more for connecting with other people, learning more about the industry, different definitions that you may not heard of before, any other resources that you could use to increase your understanding of the business would be helpful. And then, yeah, so basically ask the right questions. Have a purpose of the meeting. Don't just go in there and waste time, I guess. So like prepare a list of questions of really what you want to know. So like what factors are crucial to making your decision about whether to work at a company. Like, is it because they have a women's initiative, they support their employees with certain projects? Like, what do you care about, and what would affect the way whether you want to work there or not? So for me, a way to filter out some jobs, it was deciding what location. So I wanted Chicago, New York, so that really helped narrow down the search. And then you can figure out what else is important to you and help narrow down that list. So I would say 10 to 20 companies to start with. it would be good. And this whole process, I would say, is a lot of self-reflection, honestly, about what you want and where you want to go. And it doesn't hurt to apply to as many jobs as you can, because you get more chances. But just keep in mind that it does take time to tailor all your application materials, so your resume or cover letter, to each job opportunity. So keep in mind that, so don't spread yourself too thin. And the next thing would be applying. So how I went about it was I definitely leveraged my career advancement office. I got someone else to look at my materials. So I think another fresh pair of eyes on something is helpful to catch typos or to proofread, and also to help you generate ideas like, why do you want to work at this company? And then see what their response is like for their see what their response is like for their companies that they worked for in the past, and think about what direction you want to go with your cover letter and your responses. So interview, practice. So I know there's different types of interviews now. There's a video interview, and then the in-person interview, first round, second round, third round, or super day. So the best way to go about it is to practice on your own, I would say in front of a mirror, or just recording yourself. And there's different etiquette for video interviews, so like having eye contact with the lens, not stuttering, so it's like being within the timed response. There's a lot of things to keep aware of, so prepare in that way. And then also with your responses, do the research, search up the industry terms, definitions, news, know what you're getting into. So don't just apply to a job and just not do anything about it. So there's researching up the company as well, and then see if anyone else you know who works at the company. It would be very helpful. And the last thing is to just send a thank you note. Show you appreciate others for their time, that you're grateful for the opportunity to have been invited for an interview. Speaks a lot. Also, if you want to address something that you talked about in the conversation, or you're following up with a question that they asked and you didn't know the answer at the time, this would be a good place to do that. And then just to end this, know that even if you do everything you possibly can and you follow all the right steps and check all the boxes, you might not get the job. That's just reality. So my advice is to just remain positive, apply to as many jobs as you that fit you and that you're interested in. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's hard out there to get a job, I know, but yeah, just be positive. Don't be discouraged if you get rejected. There's always another opportunity that will come up, and good luck. Keep on hustling. And of course, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you have any other questions that you want me to address in a video, please let me know.